guys, it's Jen, and today I want to share with you a fun little spring project. It's just a little banner, really simple to make. Here you can see the items that I'm going to use for this project. So I'm going to be using some iCraft Deco foil in the champagne color, which is a nice, like, kind of a softer gold. I'm going to be using some of these pop micro beads from American Crafts, and I've just got some banners cut. Now I cut these on my Silhouette, but you could use like a manual die cut machine or any banner shape that you have, or you could hand cut a banner shape as well. You can also buy like pre-cut banners, so anything will work for this. And then I've also just cut out the word spring on my Silhouette too. Again, you can use stickers, you can use any sort of alphabet for this. I just have some twine that I'm going to use to string up the banner. And then these are some die cuts that I have, they're a little bit older, from Pebbles, that I'm going to use on the two end caps of the banner. So I have 8 banner pieces, and the word spring is 6 letters. So on the outside too, those will be decorative. And so to adhere the deco foil and these little micro beads, I'm going to be using this super tape in 1/4 inch, and then the easy tear tape in 1/4 inch. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. So let me just get these things moved off to the side, and then let's get started on our project. Okay, so for the banner part of the project, like I mentioned, I have 8 banner pieces. The outside 2 will be decorative. We'll do those last. First, I want to do the parts that will have the word spring on it. So we're going to decorate the letters up just a little bit using some of the gold foil. So we'll do that very first, is do the letters, and then I'll show you what we're going to do to the banners next. Okay, so I'm going to start with the letter S, and I've got a ruler out just so that I can put the tape in the same place on each letter. And I usually don't care about measuring, but in this instance I want the stripes to be pretty consistent across the letter, and so I am going to just use a ruler, and I'm just sticking it off to the side. If you had like a grid mat, that would work great too. So what I'm going to do is just take the easy tear tape, and I'm going to tear off a little strip, and what I'm going to do is my first stripe is going to be 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of the letter. So I'm just going up one of these little squares here on my ruler. And it doesn't matter if it's exact, but I want it to be pretty close. So I'm just going to make sure I tear off a piece that's big enough to cover the area. And then I'll adhere that down. And then I'm going to do another stripe across at about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. So at this line right here. So that looks about right there. Okay, so once you've got that adhered down, what you're going to do is just take some scissors, and I've got some non-stick scissors, which is great because this sticky adhesive does not gunk up my scissors, but you can use any scissors. And I'm just trimming around the letter. So once I've gone ahead and done that, I can just peel off the backing, and then I just have a scrap of foil here, and this is champagne like I mentioned before, and all I'm going to do is stick it over the top of the letter, and I'm going to use the pressure of my finger to adhere the foil onto that easy tear tape that we laid down. And then I peel that off, and there we've got a nice striped foiled piece here, if you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to all of the letters, and I'll come back and show you how they all look together. Okay, so here you can see all of the letters foiled. It was super easy to do, fun, and so now I'm ready to work on my banner. So on my banner, I am going to, let me just show you because I did a practice one here. What I'm going to do is put these little, they're basically beads without holes, they're micro beads, on the bottoms of each banner. And I'm going to use this super sticky super tape to do that with, and it holds very strongly. So I've just got my beads here, my super tape, and then I also have this little box to catch all the beads in because these will get everywhere. So if you have one of those like little embossing trays that have the hole in the end that you can dump things back in, that works really well for this too. Okay, so I've got one half laid down. I'm going to peel off the backing, and then I'm going to lay the other half down. And I'm just going to overlap so that it has a nice center point. It just has to be good enough. At least that's my philosophy. Like I said, you can get more particular if you want to, but really you can't tell when you put the beads on. Okay, so now I've got both sides. Now if I want to, I could just dip this in the beads. I find that that takes a little bit longer, so I'm just going to pour more beads on top. And then I can just kind of shake it off, and then I'm going to press them into the tape. That will really hold it securely. This tape is super strong, so it holds anything. And you could do this with other things besides these little beads. You could do it with actual beads. You could do it with like sand or some sort of other material that you could get to stick to these beads, and that would be really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my banner pieces, and then we'll come back and put it all together. Okay, so now I have my pieces ready to assemble my banner. I picked out a few of the flowers that I like to put on the outside two banner pieces. And I'm just going to use some 3D foam squares and some of the Thermoweb little dot runner to adhere all of these down. So I'm going to start with the letters, and I'm just going to adhere those straight to the banner using my dot adhesive. And I'm just going to center them like that. So that'll be super easy. Okay, so here you can see I've got all of my letters adhered. Now this is just gold on gold, so what I'm gonna do to bring in the color is the flowers, but you could definitely use a different color of the deco foil. There's lots of awesome fun colors. I just happen to be addicted to gold, so I chose gold, but you could use any color and it would be really cool. And in fact, you could use a bunch of different colors together and that would be a fun look as well. So to add in that bit of color, I'm going to go ahead and create the two little flower pieces now. And I'm going to do a pink and a blue flower on each one, and then a little leaf cluster. So I think kind of what I want to do is put the flower and then put one on top of it, and then have the leaves coming out the side somehow. So let's see, maybe I put it like that. And then I'm going to have the little flower popped up. So I'm going to put that on a foam square. And I think that the big one will be just right. And I'll just adhere these pieces down. And I'm okay with things hanging off the edge. This is a banner. You could make this itty bitty, like you can make it a lot smaller and put it on a scrapbook layout or a card or something, and I think that would be really cute too. Okay, so there I have one, so it will kind of look something like this, so you can kind of see now how it's going to come together. And now this one, I'm going to do the opposite. So this one's hanging off this edge, so my leaves hanging off the left. And so on this one that's going to be on the right, I will have the leaves hanging off the right edge. All right, so there we have our entire banner. So now I'm just going to put some of this twine on, and I will get that hung up and show you the finished product. So here's another look at the final banner. I hope that you have learned a new way to use your tapes and that you'll give a spring banner a try. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions, be sure to check out thermoweb.com/blog for more information and links to the products. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.